Okay, well, thank you very much. Kumusta tayo mga kaibigan, kapatid at kababayan po dito po sa Malaysia. Ang mga kapatid, kababayan natin po diyan po sa Pilipinas, and of course ang mga kapatid, kababayan at kaibigan natin sa ibabang parte ng mundo, particularly diyan po sa or ang overseas Filipino workers natin po. Today we are starting the week in a very sad day po dahil may malaking nangyari dyan po sa Pilipinas. I would like to ask each and every one of us, no? Huwag natin kalimutan ang mga kapatid, kababayan at kaibigan natin who became victims of this calamity dyan po sa Pilipinas, which struck in the Philippines this morning po. Let us spare a minute para sa mga biktima ng earthquake dyan po sa Pilipinas. A minute of silence po. Once again, I would like to welcome each and every one of you. Ang mga followers natin dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. I was really excited to see ang Monday natin ngayon po to start the week. Dahil may mga magandang sana tayo po. We want very excited. We want to hear ang conducting of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Meeting lang po, hindi na yun hearing, a meeting, and of course excited ang mga chikitin natin, our children, our students po, dahil today is the first day of the opening of classes dyan po sa Pilipinas. But unfortunately, June 8 tayo ngayon po. Unfortunately, it will go down to history. And this will be a very sad day for all Filipinos, dahil po we have been practicing for how many years po for the big one, no? For the big one, and the big one came this morning, hindi po sa Metro Manila, hindi po sa Luzon, but it struck dyan po sa Southern Mindanao, particularly dyan po sa Maasin province ng Surigao or Sarangani, ng Sarangani po. And anong magnitude dyan po? That is 7.8. Malakas ito po. Malakas itong earthquake that we experience around 7 something in the morning today po. Let us all pray and hope that konti lang po ang fatalities dyan po sa earthquake. And of course, let us all pray that mga injured po will be rescued. Will be rescued immediately po. And damage of properties po, we don't know kung magkano talaga ang damage of properties because it's still early to say. But I was made to understand dumating na po or on the way na po ang gobyerno, ang mga assistance coming from the government to all the earthquake victims mo, to all the earthquake victims. Now, again, I would like to pray. Pray and ask everybody also to pray for the safety of the Philippines, wherever you are. Kung nasaan man kayo po, hingi tayo sa Panginoon natin. Let's all ask from our Almighty Creator to save lives, save lives and protect the Philippines po. It is not happening only in the Philippines. We heard a lot of earthquake incidents or calamities struck dyan po sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, kagaya sa Japan, kagaya sa Japan and other places po. But this time around, dumating ang big one, 7.8 dito po o dyan po sa Pilipinas. I will be sharing with you some video clip po regarding itong 7.8 earthquake, magnitude 7.8 earthquake dyan po sa Pilipinas po. And after that, I'll give you more details regarding itong calamity po or natural calamity or ang earthquake sa Pilipinas. In the meantime, nandito po, let's watch and listen to this video clip that I prepared para sa inyong lahat for you to have a picture of how damaging ang earthquake po kanina dyan po sa southern Mindanao. Let's watch and listen to this video po. Hold on, sandali. Nandito. Medyo malungkot tayo dahil I never expected that this will happen po today.
Mayo drama, ma, may war drama.
Okay, yun po. Nakita natin ang video portion of the during the earthquake po, 7.8 magnitude yun po. It hit na dyan po sa southern Mindanao, particularly dyan po sa Maasin na province of Sarangani po, no? Cotabato yun po. And let me replay ulit po, no? Ang video clip so that for those who did not see, you will be able to see again po. Nandito po. I will share with you again I will replay itong video clip that I have prepared para sa inyong lahat po. Let's pray. Let's pray po for the victims of the earthquake dyan po sa Pilipinas. Huwag natin kalimutan. Hold on po. Nandito. Tingnan niyo po ang na-collapse.
Shit, natumba. I-check pa, oy. I-check pa, may company mo, Bert. Kamali, Bert. Oy, taga-Jollibee. Tanawan, taga-Jollibee. Isa-isa. Oy, ma'am. Ma'am, nagkakatungalan ka kay pakakaway mo, bata, ma'am. Dari mo. Talang mo sa poste, mama. Sabi ba eh? Tumba gid siya. Tumba gid siya, tumba. Tumba gid siya, tumba. Tumba gid, tumba. Nakuha niya mo? Nakuha. Sakinan niya rin, adi, oh. Ang buksan sa igula, sakinan, turo. Ang magiging taon, bay, magiging ko, bay. Ah, shit. Panik ka, ayaw ng panik. Sabi, bay. Magawas na lang. Magawas na lang, bay. So, sabi, bay. Kasi kung ito, tawa sila. Ay, tawa, bay.
Alright, yun po, nakita natin po ang what exactly happened dyan, isang building na collapse po, and the occupant is yun na food chain po ang Jollibee po, no? Kawawa talaga ang mga, I hope wala nang tao dyan sa loob ng building. Yung mga staff ng Jollibee, they managed to go out from the building before the building collapsed, no? Before the building collapsed po. And it's not the only a building that was affected during the morning 7-something earthquake that struck dyan po sa Pilipinas. Marami din mga malls and other buildings, no? Where damaged, electric posts were destroyed also po. And maraming mga Filipino panic because of that shake, no? Very strong shake po, yung earthquake dyan po sa Pilipinas. And because of that earthquake, na release na din po ang tsunami warning dyan po sa Pilipinas, particularly sa area affected by the earthquake. And not only in the Philippines po ang tsunami warning. The tsunami warning was also released by the government of Indonesia po following the earthquake dyan po sa Pilipinas. So once again, I would like to say and remind each and every one of us, find time to pray for the victims of the earthquake po. And kung whatever assistance we can give apart from the government assistance that on the way na ngayon po, no? We try to share because Filipinos are God-fearing people, caring people, and we share whatever. Maski mahirap na tayo po, but when it comes to this kind of emergencies, calamities po, na nasa atin na yun po, that we always share whatever we have po, para to at least lessen ang burden, ang sufferings ng kapwang Filipino natin po, no? Nobody wants this kind of emergency, and it happened. We cannot control natural calamities po. It's only our Creator, our God, si Allah, who can control. What, ano ba ito? Is this something that our Creator is giving us? A warning or what? Palagay ninyo po, ano? Dahil ba dahil ba I don't want to put color on this calamity po because we already know that it is a natural calamity po, no? But we cannot avoid being a Catholic country in Asia, the only Catholic country in Asia po. And ganon po, we always, whenever we experience this kind of thing, emergencies po, we always think about our Creator, ang Panginoon natin. But anyway, it happened, and we hope and pray that ang gobyerno natin po will do everything ngayon po, everything to ease the sufferings of the earthquake victims. So let me read you an article po about the earthquake this morning. At least one person was killed. Isang tao po confirmed dead, and several buildings collapsed after a magnitude 7-point earthquake struck off Sarangani today po, Monday morning, June 8, triggering tsunami warnings across the region and emergency response operations in parts of Mindanao. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. said classes at all levels in the earthquake-affected areas in Mindanao have been suspended. Suspended na po lahat ang mga classes sa earthquake-affected areas dyan po sa Mindanao. He also directed government agencies to act immediately in disasters response and relief operation. Master Sergeant Roberto Dagon of the General Santos City Police told the media that a number of buildings collapsed, including homes, as authorities carried out a rescue operation. Many buildings were affected, but I cannot enumerate them now because we are busy with ongoing rescues. Dagon told the media, confirming at least 1 death and 4 injuries. Video posted on Facebook showed a shopping center with a Jollibee fast food restaurant collapsing into rubble in General Santos City po. No? Yon Jollibee, I showed to you kanina, dyan yun po sa General Santos City. Another video showed a building on a school campus crumbling. Lord, it has really collapsed. It has really collapsed. The building has really collapsed. A person could be heard shouting in one of the videos. Philvox earlier upgraded the quake to magnitude 7.8 and warned of possible aftershocks at the tsunami risk because of a tremor struck offshore. The agency said the quake was recorded at 7:35. It happened at 7:35 a.m. at a depth of 33 kilometers and was located at 32 kilometers south, 4th degree west of Maasim, Sarangani. The Bureau said the quake was generated by movement along the Cotabato Trench. This is also the structure responsible for the 1976 Moro Gulf earthquake that caused large tsunamis and many casualties. Sabi ang PhilVoc spokesperson si Winchell Sevilla, ang chief po ng PhilVoc division. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said tsunami waves were possible within the next 3 hours along the coast of the Philippines, Indonesia, Palau, Taiwan, and Papua New Guinea. The Coast Guard District of Southern Mindanao suspended all watercraft operations in Davao Occidental following PhilVoc Tsunami Advisory. The suspension covers fishing boats, passenger vessels, and commercial watercrafts while coastal monitoring and assessment operations continue po. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines temporarily suspended operations at General Santos City Airport following the quake and tsunami warning issued by PhilVoc. In an advisory, CAA or CAAP said a notice to airmen was in effect from 8:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday, while assessments of air navigation facilities, equipment, and operational capabilities were underway. Passengers were advised to coordinate with the airlines for flight updates. Initial reports from frontline emergency agencies and local media in Region 12 said the quake damaged a number of structures in General Santos, including classrooms. Photos from the city showed severely damaged buildings and shattered establishments after the tremor, which also caused a widespread power outrage. As of 11 a.m. this morning, power services were still out in Sarangani, including General Santos. In Davao del Sur, the Philippine Coast Guard and the local emergency responders assisted students of Santa Cruz National High School after several students sustained minor injuries or reportedly lost consciousness amid the panic caused by the quake. Authorities said the students were taken to a local hospital for medical evacuation and treatment. An abandoned building inside the Matanao National High School campus in Davao del Sur also collapsed during the quake, according to school officials. The structure was in restricted areas and had already been damaged by previous earthquake in 2019. The school said all students, teachers, and parents were outside for rising ceremony, when the tremor struck. No injuries were reported in the Matanao campus incident. Philbox earlier upgraded the quake to magnitude 7.8 and warned of possible aftershocks and tsunami risk because the tremor struck offshore. The agency reported intensity 7, classified as destructive in General Santos City. Instrumental intensity was recorded as high as intensity 8 in Malapatan, Sarangani. Earthquakes are frequent in the Philippines, which lies along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Eastern Mindanao was struck of a magnitude 7.4 and a 7.7 earthquake in October that killed at least 8 people, while a magnitude 6.9 quake days earlier killed 76 people and damaged or destroyed 72,000 houses in Cebu. Yon po. I was monitoring also ang other places, nearby areas dyan po sa southern Mindanao. That includes Zamboanga City po. All classes were suspended. And it was announced by Mayor Kimer Olaso po, no? So everybody are in alert today, and because of this tsunami warning also po. So ingat-ingat lang tayo po, ang mga kababayan, kapatid at kaibigan natin po, no? Especially dyan po sa Mindanao, should there be any advices, government or advices from the government authorities, please do not hesitate to follow their directives po for purposes of your own safety. Your own safety po. So ganito po what really happened dyan po at 7:37 a.m. this morning sa Southern Mindanao. Ang earthquake po registered at magnitude 7.8. Once again, I would like to urge ang kapwang Pilipino ko po, fellow countrymen, please include your prayers sa mga biktima ng earthquake po, and those who are injured. Let us also pray for their speedy recovery po. Let's pray for the Philippines po that we will not experience anymore such a strong natural calamity po, especially now that we are also forecasting the arrival of other natural calamities such as typhoon po, because we are now sa wet season na tayo po dyan sa Pilipinas po, no? And of course, shout out tayo lahat po sa gobyerno natin, no? Wag muna tayo focus sa political issues dyan po sa Pilipinas. Let us attend itong problema ngayon ng mga Filipinos, especially those in southern Philippines, southern Mindanao po, who are now suffering because of this 7.8 magnitude earthquake po. Ayun. I would say, mahirap po mag-umpisa ang week natin with this kind of calamity po. No? With this kind of calamity. So, that's the thing that I want to share with you today. Anyway, medyo I lost my, sabihin natin, appetite. Ang appetite ko to talk about mga political issues dyan po sa Pilipinas. Maybe by tomorrow, siguro po, we will go back. We'll be concentrating sa what is happening sa Pilipinas when it comes to our economic, political, and security aspect po. In the meantime po, let's focus ourselves on how we are going to extend helping hands sa mga countrymen, kababayan natin affected by the earthquake. But anyway, since nangyari naman itong another news dyan po sa Pilipinas, and everybody have been waiting since last week po, itong Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Yes po, nangyari po ang Blue Ribbon Committee hearing kanina po. Yon na grupo ni Senate President pro tempore Sherwin Gatchalian po. Ang Blue Ribbon Committee is being spearheaded by no less than si Senator Erwin Tulfo po. Nangyari yun po. And they did not call it as a hearing. They did not describe a gathering po as a hearing. Instead, they say it is a consultative meeting po. A consultative meeting. Consultative meeting lang yun po. And they will be calling for an official hearing on a later date. But sino-sino nag-attend po? Nag-attend ang consultative meeting ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Of course, nakita natin po ang Senate or SP pro tempore, si acting Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian. Nakita natin si Senator Sherwin Tulfo, ang kapatid niya po, si Raffy Tulfo, si former Senate President Vicente Soto, nandiyan po si Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator JB Ejercito, and si Senator Riza Ontiveros. Wala po si Senator Ping Lacson. At sino-sino mga resource person nila po who attended the consultative meeting. Representative from the National Bureau of Investigation, si Attorney or Director Melvin Matibag, representative coming from the Department of Justice, and representative coming from the Ombudsman po. Yan po ang resource person, and who declined ang invitation. The people who declined the invitation po, si of course, ang 18 ex-Marine soldiers, si former speaker of the House, si Representative Martin Romualdez, other congressmen, congresswoman po, no? Kagaya nila Congresswoman Laila De Lima. They said the reason why they did not attend itong hearing because it was advised, they were advised by the Speaker of the House, si Speaker D, because of the parliamentary courtesy po. Parliamentary courtesy. But during the consultative meeting po, ang 18 Marine soldiers po, they were inside the building of the Senate, but they did not attend the session or the meeting po. Instead, they went up dyan po sa opisina ni Senator Ruben Padilla. and they gave press statements or a press conference po explaining why they did not attend ang hearing po. One of the reasons is because they said na ano daw ito po, they respect na si Senator Senate President na Alan Peter Cayetano is still the rightful Senate President, and it was also confirmed during earlier press conferences of Senator Erwin Tulfo. He himself said that because of the number Magic 13, si Senator or SP Cayetano is still the rightful SP or Senate President ng Senado po, no? Ng Senado. And anyway, these 18 soldiers will be invited again once they will, itong grupo ni Senator Erwin Tulfo will carry out another Blue Ribbon Committee hearing in the near future po. In the meantime, let me share you, since we are talking about this thing already, let me share with you po also ang sabihin natin opening speech ni Senator Raffy Tulfo po, no? Senator Raffy Tulfo. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this. Sandali. Okay, sandali po. Let's see. Opening speech ni Senator Raffy Tulfo, ang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this.
To be clear, we will be asking for updates from the executive agencies. As we proceed, this committee must likewise address the circumstances surrounding the June 4 press conference held in the session hall. That press conference was presented to the public as a Blue Ribbon Committee proceeding despite having no authorization from the duly recognized chairman of the committee or from the office of the acting Senate President. It was conducted outside established Senate rules and institutional processes. Simply put, it was not a legitimate Blue Ribbon committee hearing. It was irregular, a house show, you may want to call it a make-believe investigation masquerading as an official Senate proceeding. Sa sinigawang Maleta Boys, kaugnay sa biumanay milyong-milyong kickback mula sa flood control projects na diniliver daw nila sa ilang mga opisyal, kabilang na po sa inyong lingkod at maging sa isang pari. Ito po ay walang basihan, walang katotohanan, ni walang naipresentang dokumento, resibo o anumang konkretong patunay, kundi puro salita lamang. Madali pong magturo, madaling gumawa ng kwento at napakadaling manira ng reputasyon. Kaya tungkulin ko ng Blue Ribbon Committee na tiyakin ang bawat delegasyon ay nakabatay sa matibay na ebidensya at mapagkatiwalaang testimonya. Hindi po tayo papayag na basta na lamang may darating po dito sa komite na ito para maglahat na kung ano-ano na wala naman po mga ebidensya o mga testigo na bigla na lamang pong susulpot kinabukasan na hindi na po mahagilap. Hindi tayo narito pang magbigay ng hatol batay lamang po sa mga haka-haka. Narito tayo pang alamin ang katotohanan. At this juncture, please allow me to acknowledge the presence of my esteemed colleagues, Senators Kiko Pangilinan, our Vice Chairperson, our Acting Senate President, Senate Pro Tempore Wing Gatchalian, and my colleague, Senator Raffy Tulfo. Thank you for coming today. Before we proceed, let us pause for a minute of silent prayer for
Alright, yun po, narinig natin.
Undersecretary Arthur Bislar. From the Department of Justice, Prosecutor General Richard Anthony Fadulion, Undersecretary Nicholas T., Assistant Secretary Joey Bernardes. From the Department of Budget and Management, Assistant Secretary Andrea Celine Magtalas. From the Office of the Ombudsman, Attorney Karen Batu. Attorney Jeffrey Ravello. From the National Bureau of Investigation, Director Melvin Matibag. That's all, Your Honor. And Representative Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Representative Sia Alonto Adyong, Representative Jose Alvarez, Representative Julian Jam Baronda, Representative Laila de Lima, through Speaker D. The reason for their absence, Attorney Cheloy Belicaria Garapil said that the House of they sent a letter respectfully declining the invitation on the grounds of parliamentary courtesy. We have not yes, we invited them, but we have not received any reply.
What about Attorney Baligot? Did we invite them? Did we
Yes,
invite
Your
them?
Honor, invited, but we have not received any reply.
What about former Congressman Mike Defensor? Did we invite him?
We did not invite former Congressman Mike Defensor.
Okay, Comsec. So,
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po, no? I will not sabihin natin touch more on this thing dahil siguro bukas na lang tayo po. We talk about this thing dahil let's focus muna tayo po. Show respect ang mga biktima ng earthquake natin dyan po sa southern Mindanao. And before I will conclude itong program natin po, medyo malungkot tayo ngayon po because of what happened dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ang big one po, dumating na sa Pilipinas po. We've been preparing for this thing for how many years already po. And dumating po 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit southern Mindanao po, Sarangani or dyan po sa Sarangani po, no? And dahil dyan po medyo let's show our concern sa kapwang Pilipino natin po. But before I will conclude itong program natin po, let me share with you another video clip which I believe na kailangan po. You have to listen to this po. Para sa ating lahat ito po, regardless kung sino man tayo, for as long as we are a Filipino. Ordinaryong Filipino, we are supporting kaninong partido po, no? Any political colors, ito ang importante na we have to listen to this po, no? Reality check. I call it the reality check tayo po. Sa atin po, reality check. Importante ito po. And nandito. Watch and listen carefully to this video clip. Courtesy coming from Filipino community blogger. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this. Hold on po. Sandali, ha? Sandali. Hold on lang po.
Mga ka-reality check. Reality check tayo. Alam nyo, naguguluhan ngayon ng taong bayan. May nagsasabing sila ang legal, may nagsasabing illegal ang kabilang panig, may nagsasabing majority sila, may nagsasabing minority sila, may nagsasabing opposition sila, may nagsasabing administrasyon sila. Pero alam nyo ang totoo, walang pakialamang ordinaryong Pilipino kung anong label nyo. Majority kayo, minority kayo, opposition kayo, o administration kayo, independent kayo. Ay nako, kahit mag-away-away pa kayo sa Senado, kahit magpalitan pa kayo ng upuan, committee, titulo at posisyon, ang gusto lang malaman ng taong bayan ay simple lang. Ano ang totoo? Sino ang nagsisinungaling? Sino ang nagnakaw? Sino ang nagtakip? Sino ang dapat managot? Sino ang ginagamit lang ang proseso para makalusot? Kasi alam nyo, habang sila nagtatalo kung sino ang may hawak ng gavel o kung sino ang may hawak ng beat, ang Pilipino ang may hawak ng resibo ng paghihirap. Tayo nagbabayad ng buwis. Tayo ang lumulubog sa baha. Tayo ang ma-adjust kapag palpak ang gobyerno. Pero sila, may pera mga yan, may koneksyon ng mga yan, may access sa doktor, abogado, security, sasakyan, media at kapangyarihan. Kapag nagkasakit sila, may pupuntahan sila. Kapag nagkaproblema sila, may tatawagan sila. Kapag bumaha, hindi sila ang unang lulubog. Kaya kung tayo-tayo pa ang mag-aaway dahil sa kulay, sino ang panalo? Sino pa hindi sila? Sila ang panalo kapag tayo ang naghati-hati. Sila ang panalo kapag mas loyal tayo sa politiko kaysa sa sarili nating bayan. Dito ngayon pumapasok ang tunay na balik values mindset. Hindi kampihan, hindi katotohanan, hindi kulay. Ebidensya, hindi idolo, accountability. Alam nyo, ganito lang yan eh. Sa basketball, kung ang referee ay depende sa jersey, wala nang laro. Kapag kakampi ang nag-foul, play on. Kapag kalaban ang gumalaw, technical foul agad. Hindi na yun justice. Lutong laro na yun. Ganyan din sa politika. Kapag may sinabi laban sa politiko na ayaw natin, mabilis tayong maniwala. Pero kapag may sinabi naman laban sa politiko na gusto natin, mabilis nating pinapasura. Aminin natin, dyan tayo madalas nahuhuli at dyan tayo madalas nilalaro. Kaya ngayon, tanggalin muna natin ang kulay. Kahit masakit pakinggan, kahit kontra sa kandidato mo, kahit kontra sa partido mo, kahit kontra sa taong matagal mo nang ipinagtatanggol. Pakinggan pa rin natin dahil doon nagsisimula ang tunay na critical thinking. Hindi kapag puro pabor sa atin ang pinapakinggan natin. Hindi kapag lahat ng kontra sa kampo natin, automatic fake news. Hindi kapag lahat ng pabor sa kampo natin, automatic totoo. Yan ang bitag. Ngayon, tungkol sa impeachment ni Vice President Sara Duterte, may ebidensya ilabas. Kung may kaso, dinggin. Kung may pagkakamali, panagutin. Kung walang sapat na basihan, linisin ang pangalan sa tamang proseso. Hindi dapat gawing demolition job ang impeachment, pero hindi rin dapat gawing shield laban sa accountability. Pareho yung mali eh. Kapag ginamit ang impeachment para manira, mali. Kapag ginamit ang technicality para takasan ng paglilitis, mali din. Ang taong bayan hindi humihingi ng teleserye. Humihingi kami ng trial. Hindi tayo humihingi ng propaganda. Humihingi tayo ng ebidensya. Hindi tayo humihingi ng kampihan. Humihingi tayo ng katotohanan. Ngayon, tungkol naman sa Blue Ribbon hearing sa flood control, ito ang masakit. Bilyon-bilyong piso o trilyon ang pinag-uusapan. Mga proyektong dapat sana bumigil sa baha. Mga pondong dapat sana nagprotekta sa bahay, kabuhayan, paaralan, palengke at buhay ng ordinaryong Pilipino. Kung may mga pangalan na nadawit, ipatawag. May akusasyon, pakinggan. Kung may witness, iharap. May dokumento, ilabas. Kung may nagsisinungaling, kasuhan. Kung may nagnakaw, panagutin. Hindi pwedeng may seryosong akusasyon tapos sasabihin lang ng isang kapo hindi credible yan. Hindi rin pwedeng may akusasyon tapos paniniwalaan agad ang kabilang kampo dahil convenient sa kanila. Hindi yun hustisya. Hindi yun investigasyon. Yun ay selektibong paniniwala. Kaya nga may hearing Kaya nga may oath. Kaya nga may mga cross-examination. Kaya nga may perjury. Kaya nga may contempt power. Kaya nga may Senado. Trabaho nyo yan. Hindi pabor yan sa taong bayan. Obligasyon nyo yan sa taong bayan. Kahit sino pa ang witness, pakinggan. Kahit may kaso, pakinggan. Kahit kontrobersyal, pakinggan. Kahit hindi mo gusto, pakinggan. Hindi ibig sabihin totoo agad Pero hindi rin ibig sabihin basura agad. Sundan ang ebidensya. Ilatag ang affidavit. Ilatag ang dokumento. Ilatag ang project records. Ilatag ang kontrata. Ilatag ang bank trail kung mayroon. Ilatag ang resibo. Kasi ang katotohanan, alam niyo parang CCTV. Ayaw lang buksan ng may ayaw makita ang replay. At ito ang dapat maintindihan ng lahat. Hindi porke pinaiimbestigahan natin si Sara Duterte, anti-Duterte tayo. Hindi porke pinapaimbestigahan natin ang flood control scandal, anti-Marcos tayo. Hindi porke gusto natin marinig ang lahat ng witness, naniniwala na tayo sa lahat. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun, ayaw na nating ginagawang tanga ang taong bayan. Kaya sa mga senador, simple lang ang panawagan. Ayusin niyo ang Senado, ituloy niyo ang trabaho, iharap niyo ang witness, pakinggan ninyo ang ebidensya at tigilan niyo ang drama na parang ang bansa ay private group chat niyo. Ang hindi entiplado ng ego. Institusyon yan ng accountability. Blue ribbon hindi dapat pang display. Instrument yan para hanapin ang katiwalian. Ang impeachment hindi dapat panggulo. Constitutional process yan para singilin ang pinakmataas na opisyal kapag may seryosong akusasyon. At sa mga Pilipino, ito naman ang hamon. Tanggalin muna natin ang kulay. Hindi ibig sabihin wala kang paninindigan. Ang ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang paninindigan mo kaysa partido. Mas mahalaga sa iyo ang katotohanan kaysa loyalty. Mas mahalaga sa iyo ang bayan kaysa kampo. Makinig muna, mag-isip, mag-research, humingi ng ebidensya, saka tayo humusga. Kasi kung tayo ay mananatiling panatiko, paulit-ulit lang tayong gagamitin. Pero kung tayo ay magiging mapanuri, hindi na tayo madaling lukuhin. Yan ang shift network. Yan ang reality check. Yan ang balik values. Hindi bulag, hindi bayaran, hindi panatiko, hindi takot makinig. Kaya tulong-tulong nating itong i-share. Hindi para kampihan ng kahit sino, kundi para paalalahanan ng bawat Pilipino. Ang bayan ay hindi pag-aari ng majority, hindi pag-aari ng minority, hindi pag-aari ng oposisyon, hindi pag-aari ng administrasyon. Ang bayan ay pag-aari ng taong bayan. Kaya ang tanong ko sa inyo, sa ganitong gulo sa Senado, ano ang mas mahalaga sa inyo? Manalo ang kampo nyo o lumabas ang buong katotohanan kahit sino pa ang tamaan?
Alright. Think about it. Think about it. Para sa bayan natin ito po. Kalimutan na natin ang kampo-kampo dyan po. And let's make sure na, kagaya sa akin po, I want to shout too loud. Let us stop corruption in the country. Kung sino man involved sa corruption, let's make sure that they will be behind bars. Sino man sila po, presidente ba, congressman ba, vice president ba, senador ba, government officials, top government officials, or mga private sectors po, mga businessmen, or kung sino man, ordinaryong Pilipino, basta korupsyon, don't support any of them kung involved sila sa korupsyon. Bayan natin ito. We have to save ang bayan. We have to love our bayan po and think about the future of our children and children's to come. So with this, siguro hanggang dito na lang po. And once again, I would like to remind each and every one of us, please include ang prayers para sa mga earthquake victims natin. At kung maskin paano man, if you have extra, please extend to the victims of the 7.8 earthquake po dyan sa Southern Mindanao. So with this, si Nico Fabian, once again would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. I'll see you in my next episode. I'm sorry po, I'm not in the mood now to talk about politics because of what happened dyan po sa Southern Mindanao. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye, and I love you all. You take care.